Hey there, supplements insiders. Do you find yourself dragging through the day, feeling exhausted and drained, even after a full night's sleep? If you're nodding your head right now, you might be one of the millions of people worldwide suffering from a vitamin D deficiency. That's right, today we're diving into the world of vitamin D and uncovering its surprising link to fatigue. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's start with a little quiz. How many of you spend most of your day indoors, slather on sunscreen every time you step outside, or live in a northern latitude? If you raised your hand for any of those, you might be at risk for vitamin D deficiency. But don't worry, we're here to help. In this video, we'll explore what vitamin D is, why it's so important for our bodies, and most importantly, how a deficiency can lead to that all too familiar feeling of fatigue. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be armed with the knowledge and tools you need to combat vitamin D deficiency and kiss that fatigue goodbye. So, what exactly is vitamin D? Well, it's a fat-soluble vitamin that plays a crucial role in many bodily functions, including bone health, immune system regulation, and muscle function. Our bodies are actually capable of producing vitamin D when our skin is exposed to sunlight. Pretty cool, right? But here's the catch: many factors can limit our ability to synthesize sufficient amounts of this vital nutrient. If you're spending most of your day indoors, like many of us do, you're missing out on that precious sunlight exposure. And even if you do manage to get outside, factors like living in northern latitudes, wearing sunscreen, or having darker skin can all impact your body's ability to produce vitamin D. It's like our bodies are playing a game of vitamin D hide and seek, and sometimes we just can't seem to find enough. So, what happens when we don't get enough vitamin D? Well, that's where the fatigue comes in. Vitamin D deficiency has been linked to a host of symptoms, including constant tiredness, muscle weakness, bone pain, and even mood changes like depression. It's like our bodies are running on empty, desperately trying to function without the fuel they need. But don't just take my word for it, the science backs it up. Several studies have investigated the relationship between vitamin D deficiency and fatigue, and the results are pretty compelling. One double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trial found that a single high dose of vitamin D3 significantly improved fatigue levels in individuals with vitamin D deficiency. That's right, just one dose of vitamin D was enough to help these people feel more energized and alive. Another study reported that individuals with lower vitamin D levels were more likely to experience fatigue and muscle weakness. It's like their bodies were crying out for help, desperately trying to function without the vitamin D they needed. But here's the good news: vitamin D deficiency is totally preventable, and even if you're already deficient, there are steps you can take to boost your levels and start feeling better. The first step: get some sun. Aim for 10-30 minutes of midday sunlight exposure a few times per week, without sunscreen, to allow your body to work its vitamin D magic. Just be sure not to overdo it, we don't want any sunburns on our watch. If you're not a fan of the sun or live in an area where sunlight is scarce, don't worry, there are other ways to get your vitamin D fix. You can start by incorporating vitamin D-rich foods into your diet, like fatty fish, think salmon, tuna, and mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified foods like milk, cereal, and orange juice. These foods are like little vitamin D powerhouses, helping to boost your levels with every bite. And if you're still struggling to get enough vitamin D, supplements can be a great option. Especially during the winter months, or if you have limited sun exposure, a vitamin D supplement can help ensure you're getting the amounts you need to feel your best. Just be sure to talk to your healthcare provider first to determine the right dosage for you. So, there you have it. Supplements Insiders, the surprising link between vitamin D deficiency and fatigue, and what you can do to avoid it. By prioritizing sunlight exposure, incorporating vitamin D-rich foods into your diet, and considering supplementation when necessary, you can help combat fatigue and support your overall health and well-being. But don't just take our word for it, try it for yourself. Start implementing these strategies today and see how you feel. We bet you'll be surprised at just how much better you can feel when your body has the vitamin D it needs. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Together, we can spread the word about the importance of vitamin D and help everyone feel their best. Thanks for tuning in, Supplements Insiders. Until next time, stay healthy, stay energized, and don't forget to soak up that sunshine.